Alright, everybody, welcome to Talladega. Now the technical bullcrap is out the way. Garrett Jings up here in the booth as always, bring you action for tonight. And of course, right now as it stands, try to find some drivers up here. Sarah Drive's already getting this kick started off. Matter of fact, James Waring will be the first one to get us started. Yeah, been a hell of a last 5 minutes trying to get everything going here. Right now, 8 minutes to post 1 lap. Right now, James Waring 26-0 to the first half of the racetrack. Right now, the time to beat, of course, a lot of heavy hitters to come tonight. James Waring to set the bar, survey says 51.917. First quickest. Caldwell slides in 52.010. Christopher Carter right now on track tonight, Waring off the front row, or off the top spot more or less. Murphy, Raleigh, Bazin, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and Christopher Carter across the line, 51.908, top of the board for Carter. And now Danny Barnes. New colors for Barnes tonight. With just under 7 minutes remaining, Danny Barnes' lap time isn't enough for the top spot. It is not. 9:23. 3rd quickest for Danny Barnes. Veloci was sliding into a 4th spot as well. Joe Herrera cutting the apron, as a matter of fact. Going to try and gain a 10th or so, and for the top spot, he's got it. 51.867 for Herrera. Hell of a lap time. Don Merkel catching him right at the end of his qualifying run. So lap time good enough for 9th quickest, barely inside the top 10 with a 52.014. Richard Elliott just rolling that onto the racetrack. Right now, Cameron Craighead on the track trying to get up to speed. We'll let him get his lap ready. Steven Scott Jr. will jump into him for the last half of his lap. Right now, Steven Scott Jr. across the line. Survey says, where does he place in this? 52.011, 9th quickest. Knox Merkel down to the top 10. Murphy, Bays, and Raleigh out of the top 10. Ryan Kelly starts his lap. He is on the clock. Richard Elliott jumped back in with Elliott and then Craighead. Matter of fact, Cameron Craighead, I believe he's already crossed the line. No, he has not. Richard Elliott across the line into 02. No stranger to the front spot, and Richard Elliott, 8.98, good enough for 2nd. Craighead will slide into 8th. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Dylan Ast, 26.2 for his lap. Ast across the line. 54.494. 14th quickest. Ryan Kelly across the line, 903. Calling it right at the end. Good enough for third, quickest. But we still got heavy hitters to come. One of them. Several drivers still out onto the racetrack now. Tucker McClendon will be one of them. Another driver who has yet to start his qualifying lap yet. Getting to him right after Tucker McClendon comes across the line. McClendon 15th quickest. Well, that one driver who was always a threat for the pole and really one of the drivers who was always a threat no matter where we go, to 6 of Cody Eagles. Whose lap will actually start right now. Just under 3 minutes remaining for drivers to post a lap. Jackson Buys joining us tonight as well. Like I said, heavy hitters out here tonight. Right now, the Eagles 26-0 within the range to try to knock off Joe Herrera. Sean Corbett, 893. Second quickest, Neagles through the trouble, not cutting the apron, comes across the line. He's got it. 51, 842. Neagles top of the board. Was there ever any doubt? Not really. Right now, Joshua Kim McCullough, Vincent T. Guerrero, Kobe Neal, Hunter Rozelle, Dylan Jones, Wyatt Gray, Matthew Patton, William H. Scott. Still the ones remaining to qualify. Minute 45 left. Vincent T. Guerrero on the track. Minute and a half. This will probably be the last run unless somebody goes in and goes out there now. This will be it. The final challenge to Cody Eagles' pole position. Right now, Guerrero 26-0 in the range of somewhere close to inside the top 10. Just depends on how he gets off turn 3 and 4. This lap will determine it. With 42 seconds remaining, Cody Eagles, does he stay on the pole? Survey says 9:14, 9 and up. 7th quickest for Guerrero. And Cody Eagles on pole for tonight. Well, that being said, the grid is set. Well, that being said, quick warm-up session here before we get things started. So they get warmed up. We will too. We'll be right back live for Talladega. You're watching MMS. We'll be right back. Alright, we're back live from Talladega. Double drivers using warm-ups for one final time to try to figure out how to push for these cars. Try to figure out how they handle in the draft, how they work in the draft. The big thing tonight with these Gen 4 cars, they are the legacy version of these, so the brakes are not the best in the world. Actually, hell, far from it. So if there's a chance for green flag pit stops, it could get very, very dicey if that comes tonight, if they have the opportunity for that to happen. And now Doug McClendon fastest lap for warm-ups, 48.797 with a minute, pretty much 90 seconds remaining. Right now, just under a minute remaining, 50 seconds for warm-ups. Well, they got them. We'll go ahead and roll through the starting grid for tonight. Show it. Get there in a second. Main event up next. And what a main event it's going to be. 53 laps on the agenda for tonight. Roll through the starting lineup. Cody Neagles on the pole tonight. Right next to him, Joe Herrera. Sean Corbett, Richard Elliott, Ryan Kelly, Christopher Carter making his return tonight. Will be rolling on 6th. Vincent T. Guerrero, James Weir, Danny Barnes, Jackson Byes, Mark Vondell, and Andrew Pacelli will be rolling off from the 12th spot. That is the Fast 12 on down through the remainder of the field. Cameron Craighead, Justin Lewis, Maxwell Caldwell, Steven Scott Jr., Todd Merkel, Chris Murphy, Tucker McClellan, Dylan Astor, top 20, Dylan Bazin, Derek Raleigh, Wyatt Gray, Dylan Jones, the top 24, and on down through the remainder of the field. Joshua McCullough, Kobe Neal, Matthew Panikin McCullough, William H. Scott, Hunter Rozelle rounds out the field for tonight. 30 drivers on deck. The payouts because of that goes as follows. Right now as it goes, $150 to the winner tonight. From 2nd through 6th goes 125, 90, 80, 70, 60, and of course $25 to a random driver outside of the top 6. Of course, 2 drivers right now new to the money scene, really actually burst onto the scenes, made their debuts. The Nightmare Before Christmas, Maxwell Caldwell, Ryan Kelly. Todd Merkel, all three drivers. Really, Jimmy Crow brought them all to the scenes, and since then they have not disappointed. Good run since the Nightmare Before Christmas event. Can they keep the momentum going tonight? They're going to knock off Cody Neagles, who was always a threat whenever it comes to these, but other big names in here, along with drivers who have not won in a while. Richard Elliott, Sean Corbett, just to name a few. Danny Barnes, James Warren, Chris Carter. The field is set and the deck is stacked. The Neagles and Herrera will be bringing them down to United Rentals restart zone. MMS on a Saturday night. Been a while since we had one. Neagles into the United Rentals restart zone. We're rolling. Down back straightaway side by side for the lead. Neagles getting pushed by Corbett as they enter turn 3 for the first time tonight. Outside lane really does not have a lot of help. You're getting a live look from the drone camera as the field comes off of turn 4. For the first time tonight, pretty much single filed out. Outside lane, not a lot of help. Craighead jumps up to the outside lane, try to help him. Still side by side at the line. Elliott will slide in a second side by side as the one. Slides out to the lead. Chris Carter, Kevin Craighead trying to push Richard Elliott on that outside lane. Neagles battling back. Right now, Elliott battling back, right back to the outside again. Now the outside lane's formed up with some help. And these drivers are going to try to do everything they can. Both lanes working evenly right now as we stand. Lap 2 in the books. Too close to call for that. Richard Elliott, matter of fact. Right now, here you see Christopher Carter going way wide. 3 wide already down the back straightaway. And it did not take long for him to go through that. Hell, 4 wide. Carter stuck way on the outside. No help. He's going all the way back. Good grief. Jay's wearing up there to push that 20. We'll really push the 05 machine. Joshua McCullough. A couple of Wonder Bread paint jobs in the field tonight. McCullough and Waring. See, 62 going to try to push him wide. Not able to do it. Going to push him even wider. Well, lead yet again. 50 laps to go. 3 wide action. You see that third lane already starting to fall apart. It's going to be hard to really make anything happen. As the race goes on and the run goes on, it's going to be harder to really make that third lane work. I'm sure you can make it work. You got the right group of drivers up there. More drivers other than just 2 or 3, but right now that third lane dead. Amazing. That Mopar machine working that third lane now, nobody going with him. Right on board the roof camera, so to speak. Not a whole lot of action, really. I say that third lane's coming. Got McCullough waiting. All right, now Cody Neagles leads down the back straightaway. Still 3 by 3. Now the third lane's coming. Oh, Richard Elliott hard into the wall. There they go already, boys. Good grief. Yeah, McCullough sneaking through. 15th of all, Chris Carter's involved. Tom Merkel. Just mentioned him. Goodness. Mark Vondale with damage. I'm sure there's about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 more. Richard Elliott gets turned at the front of the field. You know for a fact it ain't going to be pretty. Well, crap. All right, look at it and see how this one unfolds. We're down and back straight away. That's Cameron Craighead. Jensen, Elliott, and everybody else. Drivers just piling in. Actually, go back and look at it from the far chase cam. See if we can get a better look about what happens here. Elliott gets loose, kind of gets turned. I'm not sure if Craighead knows where he's going. If that is, yeah, hold on, get a look at this real fast. We got another onboard here. Just a second, I gotta be sure I got the right driver. Okay, yep. All right, right on board with Cameron here. The way it looks, and honestly, we're gonna get another look at it. Right on board with Cameron Craighead through this. Elliott just gets that bobble, and really, I don't think Cameron knows really where Elliott's going to go. Honestly, it's pretty difficult to pin that on. It's really hard to really pin that. Or really anybody. I mean, you say Elliott gets to, you say Cameron gets to the back of him. The end result, nonetheless, as drivers swapping on pit road over and over. Regardless, the end result. Oh, give or take 8 drivers. Right on board with Merkel through this. Good one, damn. He completely fell right in his lap. I think he just ran over from behind. Next on board, see if we can get Dylan assed up here. It'll be a last on board before we go back to the green here. Everybody. But a big one early in this one. Tom Merkel, Garrett Jenkins up here, broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I do. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, a hell of a way to start the night. Take me through it. I believe you already had taken one fast repair already.
I did.
Done it, gone.
Yeah.
Take me through what you saw.
I didn't see much. I saw a puff of smoke, and they stopped in front of me.
Buddy, still a long way to go. 45 action when y'all take the green. With
yeah, if I can stay out of trouble, I'll be okay.
I'm about to ask you, one fast repair done and gone. How does this affect the strategy of the race going for the number 2 machine?
Extra careful.
I can imagine. Well, buddy, best of luck to you from here on out. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you at the end of this thing still.
That would be nice. I hope to talk to you later.
Hopefully so, buddy. Good luck tonight. right now, as the field hits the 1 to green, we'll go to re-rack the top 10. Cody Nichols, Ryan Kelly, first and second. Jackson Bice, Sean Corbett, and Dylan Bazin. Your top 5. Joe Herrera, Danny Barnes, Tucker McClendon, Matthew Patton, Justin Lewis, your top 10. Well, first caution this early will determine a lot of things. Is that the wake-up call the field needs to try to take it easy for a remainder of the race, or is that just a sign of things to come? We're about to find out. All right. Nichols and Kelly into the United Rentals restart zone. We're rolling. Right now, Jackson Bice storming up the bottom lane. He's got Bazin along with him. The field works down the back straightaway, thinking about going 3 wide. Stay 2 wide for now. Nichols with a push from Kelly as they enter turn 3. Even for the most part, slight lead to Bice as they enter turn 4. Now a big lead for Bice, able to clear up in front of Cody Nichols. At the line, give it to Bice. 44 to go. And one car way out there trying to work that third lane again. Oh! Josh McCullough got put in the wall. Maxwell Caldwell. No, wrong one. One right behind him. I believe that's Chris Murphy. It was. Ran Josh McCullough way up the track as Cameron Craighead in this time to serve his black flag and Hunter Azell in the pits. Not used the fast repair, but obviously a meatball flag. 4 to 19. Right now down the back straightaway. Right now they're still trying to work that third lane, but right now it just ain't working for them at the moment. As still, honestly, I'll give the advantage to the bottom lane, able to really get ahead through turns 3 and 4. Enough for Bice to clear up again. Here comes Bazin to the bottom. Bazin's, I can't call that. Give it to Jackson Bice over Bazin for the moment. Cody Nichols right now has led the most laps of 4 so far. With 42 to go down the back straightaway. Still 2 by 2 for the lead. Working up there in the mix. Third car on the bottom lane. right now, still going 3 wide for a lead. Here comes McCullough. Trying to pull Steven Scott. I believe Steven Scott. Yep, Steven Scott Jr. as a matter of fact. Right in the line, give it to Cody again. 40 laps to go. Right now, Hunter Rozelle officially out of the race tonight. Jackson Bynes all the way up to cover. Joshua McCullough gets McCullough a little bit loose. Going to allow the bottom lane to come back in. Still 3 by 3. Kenny McCullough working his way up into the mix right now. That Budweiser number 8 machine, you're right on board with him. Starting 28. Right now under 15th. With that being said, you see the biggest movers in the race so far tonight. Since the start of the race, how about Dylan Bailey up 20 spots where he started? Matthew Patton up 19. Joshua McCullough 12. Matter of fact, there's Ken McCullough. Up 12, biggest droppers in the race. Chris Carter, Richard Elliott, Mark Mondale, just to name a few. Cameron Craig is that listed 29th, down 16. This is D. Guerrero down 20. Right on board with a couple more drivers while we have a moment. Right there and run might stall out. If it is, we'll slide back just a little bit. We'll get another run down the back straightaway. Run over Ryan Kelly. Really, Kelly's one of them. Like Cody Nichols has not really left the top 5 for the majority of the night. Of course, Cody Nichols started on pole. And right now, Josh McCullough this time with a bigger power move on the outside. We've got Ken McCullough with him along with William Scott Jr. Down the back straightaway again. They're going to get Jackson Bynes in tow with them. Driver jostling, driver shuffling around. It'll still be Bazin as they enter turn 1 or turn 3. Look under the wall a little bit. No harm, no foul for the moment. Derek Raleigh. Still going to enter 3 wide, but top 2 back to 2 by 2. Josh McCullough falls back into the middle lane. Quickly as one driver comes up, another one replaces. Regardless of the fact, right now, the third lane's already dissipated and fell out. They're about to put Cameron Craig yet another lap down. Already won after having a service drive-through penalty for the first caution of the night. Craig will go 2 down. Batted way off the wall again. Right now, if you just joined us live from Talladega with MMS, Joshua McCullough, the leader. Made that Cody Nichols the leader now. Only 1 caution so far tonight, 9 official lead changes. that is the race recap for tonight. Josh McCullough and Ken McCullough working that outside lane. MMS hooked up. Folks, while we got a moment in the action here, we're going to take a quick step away momentarily. You're watching MMS live from Talladega. We'll be right back. Just mentioned Cameron Craig going 2 laps down, trying to get one of them laps back. Trying to rally that third lane. We're back live from Talladega. Right now, Cody and Eagles continue to lead. Really, Beza and Eagles have been swapping this lead back and forth. You see Craig getting way out of shape. Able to hold on to it, but it completely kills that third lane for the moment. Right now, that stands McCullough jumps up in front of Craig Hagel and try to keep him 2 down or use him to try to get to the front here. And McCullough, hell of a run on the outside lane, not able to quite clear yet. With 30 laps to go. The field works down the back straightaway again. A lot of drivers back there further in the back, migrating towards the bottom lane. Pit stops could very well be coming up. The field's on a 17-18 lap run as it stands. You look at the top 10. How much they've ran so far tonight. There you see it's 16 to 17 laps. Obviously they're on their second run. Everybody's hit over the first run. Oh, Craig can't out of shape. There they go. Forget what I said about green flag pit stops. Whoops. Well, hey, already back on the replay. Let's go. Oh. And Scott goes around. Or Steven Scott Jr. actually. I'm getting too confused. See what really happens here. Look at it from the blimp camera. Gray cat holding tight, holding tight. He come down. Hard to say. Right on board with him again. If he does, it'll be the second cause of the night. Yep. Rewind it very slowly. Car is already loose. You can look at it and tell just by how much it's skewing out. Straight. Comes down and clips him. So a good night went from bad for Cameron Craighead, and now it will go from bad to worse. He would have hung on to it. For Steven Scott Jr., however, a wild ride. Let's see if we can't ride on board with him. Couple more on boards we'll have. Let's see here. We're on board with Christopher. I'm on board with Christopher Carter through this whole deal. See what he sees. A lot of drivers with a lot of heads-up driving. Ryan Kelly's on board. So this is going to be one of them near misses. Luckily, not everybody. Luckily, only one car really involved in all this old deal. Right now, as it stands, Dylan Bazin the leader. Neagle's wearing Corbin and McCullough top 5 off of pit road. Right now, as it stands, second caution of the night comes out with right at 29 laps to go. Right now, 27 to go, be 26 whenever they take the green flag. All right, to re-rack it. The field goes back to green. Dylan Bazin, Cody Neagles first and second. James Ware, Sean Corbett, Kevin McCullough rounds out the top 5. Josh McCullough and Vincent T. Guerrero. That's 6th and 7th. Chris Murphy, Dylan Jones, and Matthew Patton rounds out the top 10. Top 15 goes as ordered. Byes, Gray, Kelly, Raleigh, and Christopher Carter. Right now, since talking to him since the first caution of night, Todd Merkel up to 17th, so still having to play it safe, especially with 26 to go. He is one of several drivers who have already had to use their fast repair. Matter of fact, 3. That includes Merkel, Derek Raleigh, and Richard Elliott. All 3 having to use their fast repairs. That's the best thing about the fast repairs is you're literally your one get out of jail free card. Cameron Craighead out of the race. He will join Hunter Azell in the garage, and that will leave 28 drivers. Still in contention to win this race. All right, Bays and Eagles into the United Rentals restart zone. We're rolling. Bays with a hell of a jump. Here goes Eagles right back to the outside, wearing it. We're going to try to push Basin up. Going to run Corbett up track just a little bit. Down the back straightaway. Right now, Cody Eagles engine out ahead, forward of Mullen, Basin bound on the right back. Really, you're seeing how pretty much how even the lanes are. I still say that bottom lane has the slight advantage. However, Eagles would have run off to turn 4, not quite able to get clear of Basin yet at the line. Basin that lap. 16 machine going way up the racetrack. Wyatt Gray going with him. I think that's Matthew Patton. And that 16-3M machines, they're working down the back straightaway again. Still drivers trying to try that third lane. Nothing happening at the moment. Eagles surges ahead. He'll drop down in front of Basin. To official lead his first lap of the race tonight, only barely. Still working 3 wide. Patton on the outside lane, got Gray with him as well. But right now, working down the back straightaway. Going to be 22 laps to go whenever they get back to the start and finish line. How about Derek Raleigh update? Right now, everybody's last lap time is pretty much dead even for the most part. Coca-Cola. Fire machine loose to the trial. Going on to it. Matthew Patton to the top spot. Only momentarily. Here comes Neal's right back to the inside again. Back straight away. trying to pull that outside lane right now. Hasn't for the moment. Not just quite. We'll get clear. Here comes Corbett right back to the middle lane along with the bottom. Well, there you see the full effect of Talladega. 3 by 3 by 3 all the way back to Mondale. Mondale actually back in the 27th spot. Getting good now. 20 to go. Let's go popping the popcorn and grabbing a beer. Right now, see, can't ride on board with a couple of drivers who are further deep in the field. Dylan ass with the monkey's cam. Further back here. Danny Barnes. He's right behind his teammate Richard Elliott. Well, if you follow the money racing gig for a long time, you are pretty much aware of MMS as a whole. Right now, for MMS, they are 4th, 7th, 21st, and 23rd at the moment. That'd be Josh McCullough, 4th and 7th. Right on board with Richard Elliott and Danny Barnes, who are back higher, deeper in the field. I think they're anticipating that we'll go on board a couple more drivers. Jackson Bond right in the thick of it, but I think as far as Elliott and Barnes goes, they are anticipating the next big one. Right now, the way it looks and the way drivers are racing at the moment, it could very well get that way. White Gray on that 3rd lane, not much happening again. Down the back straightaway. About right behind him. Right on board the booth stand. Right now, as it stands, Pat and Corbett. Kevin McCullough now jumps up to that 3rd lane. Gonna have White and Gray in tow with him. Really, Matthew Pat not heard a lot out of the 16 or 69, depending on which one you want to go by, car or ticker. I've not heard a lot out of him, but has been hanging around the top 10 the majority of the night. Has worked himself up now into contention to win. The same can be said for Corbett. McCullough came to 28 on the grid. So now he has a shot at the win if only if they can hold on for soon to be 16 more laps. Right now, those drivers already starting to jump back up to that 3rd lane. If they can get 6, 7, maybe 8 drivers in that 3rd lane, it'll be a contender. Right now, as it stands. As it stands right now, they're going to have to rip it away and probably tear it away from Cody Nichols, who has led the most laps again. 17 out of the 37 ran so far, about to be 38. But Corbett battling right back up the middle lane. Loretta looking at him as well. Joshua McCullough to the point. McCullough 1 and 2 for this very brief moment. Field work's done it back straight away. We mentioned MMS earlier, forgot one, Mark Mondale right now in 19th. Dega Pros in there, they're not with their leader tonight, John Ward. Right now, Chris Brother James Waring, Kobe Neal, Matthew Patton, Stephen Scott Jr., Tucker McClennan, as they stand right now. James Waring ninth. Patton fifth. Neal Meyer back in 27th. Chris Ricardo 14th. Along with Tucker McClennan down there in 19th. So Dega Pro is kind of all over the place at the moment as Kenny McCullough leads down the back straightaway. McCullough's led 2 laps so far tonight. Josh McCullough's led 3. One driver, Derek Riley, back in the wall again. He was in the wall earlier, but this time a whole lot more significant. Just inside the top 10, back to 22nd as Corbett went to the third lane unsure into wide, but regardless, Corbett third a lap ago, now back down to 7th. Here he goes again with another big run, got Wyatt Gray right behind him. Drivers making green flag pit stops, Todd Merkel, black flag. Merkel, Caldwell, Lewis, Pacelli, and Ryan Kelly. All in this time, of course, just mentioned Todd Merkel, black flag. That will more than likely be a race ender. With 13 to go, the question now raises, with them pitting the top 10, just mentioned it, mentioned it several laps ago as a matter of fact. Stint lead for the top 10. They went 19 and 20 laps. The last stint, of course, the caution came out, so we're not able to really get an accurate representation of how far they could really go, but one has to wonder, are they in the fuel window now? Oh, the wrecking in the back. Chris Carter against the wall. Mark Vondell involved. Another driver further in the back. Was around. There you see Chris Murphy. Massive damage to that machine. Third yellow of the night. Well, good news is it'll save Todd Merkel. It'll really save them drivers who just came off Kelly. What happened? First off, let's look at it from Raging Idiot Racing Network blimp camera. Oh. Chris Murphy came down. It's like across the front bumper of Danny Barnes. Leaves that gap open. It's enough for Barnes to maybe get his nose in there. Murphy comes down into Guerrero, Carter, Vondale, Richard Elliott. All involved in this one. Let's ride on board with Chris Murphy through this. Next on board, Mark Vondell from the gyro cam. He just completely killed Carter. Bam! Vincent T. Guerrero's. Guerrero's going to have a hell of a save. Well, under caution for the third time tonight. Remember what I mentioned about them jokers that just pitted prior to this? Caldwell, Lewis, Kelly, and Shelley. Well, look at the top 5. When a gamble worked, the only bad thing is that her teammate Todd Merkel believe he'll beat a free pass. But he will have to restart 28th at the tail end of the longest line. Right now to re-rack it. The field gets ready to go to green. It's going to be 8 laps to go when they do take the green flags. Maxwell Caldwell, Justin Lewis first and second, and Joe Herrera, Ryan Kelly, Andrew Shelley will be your top 5. McCullough, Nichols, Jackson Byes, Josh McCullough, Dylan Jones, the top 10. Well, we will get set to go green one more time. It won't be one more time. It won't be a last time. I got a feeling. I need to talk to Justin Lewis about Advil after this race is over for a lot of drivers. Chris Murphy, black flag will be a drive-through penalty. All right. Try this again. Caldwell, Lewis, into 9 Reynolds restart zone, rolling again. Good restart from the bottom lane. Just about as good as a restart for the outside. 8 laps to go. Now outside lane rolling. Caldwell leads at the line. McCullough up in front of Dylan Basin, third lane's coming. Gonna have Niggles into win him along with Patton 3 by 3 by 3 for about at least 6 rows deep. Well, you know it's getting near the end of the race, boys. Business is starting to pick up. McCullough out to the lead. Third try over McCullough trying to hold that middle lane. Caldwell out of shape, saves it. Holy hell. Hell of a save. Basin to the point, got Niggles and Patton or Dylan Jones with him. Down back straightaway, Basin back out to the point. Cody Niggles right behind him, still went 17 laps, still the most out of any driver. As a matter of fact, it will be the most out of any driver tonight. Only there was money for leading the most laps. Sadly, there's not. Down the front straightaway again. Basin continues to lead. Niggles, McCullough working that middle lane. They're going to bring buys with them. Wyatt Gray also in the mix in that middle lane. Right now. Will be 5 to go. It is 5 to go. 4 to go there to get back to the line. Right now. 4 to go. Cody Niggles edging ahead again. Basin will battle right back to the bottom. Dodge on Chevrolet. Right now. Right now, Basin getting everything that Dodge can handle. James Waring has been a dark horse all night, but right now, up into the 6th spot with a chance to win it. Waring trying to end a winless right of the zone along with Richard Elliott. Right now, 3 laps to go. And they're starting to bump a little bit harder. Drivers starting to get out of shape. They hold it together for now. They're not going to hold it together for the rest of it. Oh! McCullough hard into the wall in the back. Caution. For that? No, there's more in the back. Matthew Patton down the back straight away. Joshua McCullough meatball flag, so does Kobe Neal. That 16 machine all tore up. 2 fast repairs coming up. But with 3 to go, that will be MMS overtime. We look back and see what happened. Danny Barnes also got a piece of this. Look at it from the blimp cam. Oh, McCullough got Patton all out of shape from there. Hard to say if Barnes comes up into Canil. We'll look and see here. Slow motion here. There's the contact. Put Patton up there in the fence. Canil comes down. Hooks Danny Barnes. And from there it is on. Big shot. put us under caution yet again. It is really, I mean, nothing anybody can really do at this point. At this point in the race, it's pretty much all take, no give. And right now, I doubt we'll see any takers. Well, we can't get Justin Lewis in here. Justin Lewis, Gary James up here, broadcast booth. Got a copy, buddy?
I can hear you. What's up?
Well, the strategy worked. Able to get in trap position. You're up here with a chance to win it. What's the plan? What's the strategy? Or is there really just, at this point, 3 overtime attempts coming up? Is there really a strategy or a plan at this point?
Strategy went out the window about the time my group got kind of shuffled there, so we're just going to try to run this outside, not get pinned on the bottom, which sounds like a miserable time as I did the last run there. And I guess be glad that caution came out because my oil temp was pegged at like 300 there for trying to get him out of my way. So we'll see how it goes and hopefully get this thing done or at least get some of the teammates in the money here.
But I'll ask you this, of course. Got a message right before the broadcast went live. Old Jimmy Carew brought y'all onto the scenes, and really he said it's best since the Nightmare Before Christmas. You and the whole team's really been on a bit of a roll here lately. What would it mean to get a win tonight in MMS?
It'd be pretty good. I mean, with money on the line, it makes it a lot more interesting. And I know we've been, we're usually really good if we can work together the right way. And it all started with the caution that came out kind of at the right time for us. But like I said, this is gonna get crazy. These boys are pretty stout, and it's gonna get pretty hectic with everybody kind of split up at the moment.
All right, buddy. Well, best of luck to you from here on out. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you at the end of this thing.
We'll see. The way it's looking, I might be on my lid.
Well, I've been there before too. All right, buddy. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
Do it. He's going to have to go really for him or any one of that team to get the job done. The names surrounding them and trying to get their first win of the season. Dylan Bazin, Cody Neagles, just to name a few. Kenna McCullough, James Waring, Jackson Byes, Wyatt Gray. All contenders within the top 10, and we're going to re-rack the top 10. As a matter of fact, Dylan Bazin, Justin Lewis, first and second. Cody Neagles, Dylan Jones, Ryan Kelly, the top 5. McCullough, Waring, Codwell, Jackson Byes, Wyatt Gray, your top 10. And a whole bunch more. Right now, as it stands. Still 27 drivers, 28 drivers in this race. Still a chance for any of them drivers in the very back to sneak through, get a win, or a potential payout. I remember the first ever race I did for MMS. I believe it was at Daytona. Austin Green restarted 19th on a green-white checkered. And when they wrecked, he went from 19th to the lead, and actually ended up winning that race. So believe me, if you're Merkel or Ast or Von Dale Corbett, or even further back like Chris Carter, Joshua McCullough, Guerrero even, you can win this race or at least get a good payout. Question is, who's it going to be? Basin, Lewis in the United Rails restart zone. We're rolling. The first attempt at a green-white checker. Dylan Jones want to push to 7 up the outside for the moment. Basin and Eagles disconnected right now. Jones, now he's off of Lewis. Outside lane's going to slip. Oh, they're wrecking again. Kelly Warren up in the air. Byes up in front of McLennan. Good grief. Tucker McLennan's car comes to rest in the middle of the track, able to get it rolling. Derek Raleigh back there in the back as well. Derek Raleigh had a hell of a night going. Been in the wall a couple of times. Ryan Kelly got turned, and damn, Kelly having a hell of a run in his own right. Listen to Guerrero, unsure if he's got any damage in this. James Ware's up in the air. Good grief. A lot of damage to Ware's machine. Go to Camille as well. Meatball, or not meatball, but black flag going to Camille. As we're going to look at it. One more time. Wearing on off. Looks like Warren, does he give the shot to Kelly? The question is, does he give the shot to Kelly? Look at it here in slow motion. Caldwell into McCullough. Gets them all this. Oh, okay, I see it. Oh, Warren has nothing to do with it. Really what it looks like from my standpoint. If we can go to the far chase, it'll give us a better look at it here. Well, there's the checkup, and there you see where the 3 lets off. Gets the whole outside lane accordioned up. Maxwell into the back of Kevin McCullough. McCullough comes down. He'll get Ryan Kelly through this. Wearing an innocent bystander. Then Jackson By is going to get spit out and go right back up the track. James Waring kills that wall. Right on board with Jackson Byes through this old deal. Buys big damage to that machine. Nice out there. Right on board with him. Tucker McLaren, the hits just keep on coming. Oh! Better. Ain't nothing left that rear end, I give it that. Ryan Kelly's on board. It's probably the last one before we go back live here. take one more on board here. Derek Riley's on board. It's been a rough night for Derek. I mentioned earlier was in the top 10 for the majority of the night. For the first third of the race at least. Contact. Oh! Narc right there. A couple contacts with the wall, and he has been mired back ever since. Well, this will be attempt number 2. Should be, yep, attempt 2. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Well, to re-rack it again. Dylan Bazin, Cody Neagles first and second. Justin Lewis, Dylan Jones, Kenny McCullough, your top 5. Maxwell, Godwell in 6. Joe Herrera right now scoring in 7th. Wyatt Gray, Andrew Pacelli, and Richard Elliott, your top 10. Drivers aggressively saving the fuel the best they can. A lot on the line. $150 to the winner. Top 6 get paid out. Plus a $25 to any driver outside of the money. So 7 through 30. Field not really organized. So I don't know if they're going to delay it one more time or what they're going to do. Field's rolling. Not sure what McCullough is doing on the bottom. Regardless, 2 laps to go, second attempt. Lewis side by side. Go ahead, Nichols pushing him on the outside lane. Caldwell coming up on the bottom. He'll slide in front of Wyatt Gray. Down the back straightaway. Oh! Merkel around, McCullough around. Elliott's upside down. Good grief. McCullough, Elliott. Throw Steven Scott in there with a meatball flag. Don Merkel as well. The Knight from Hell keeps on hitting. What a 2 machine. Well, fast repair early, speeding on pit road. And now, more than likely, a car that's pretty significantly damaged. Ruben Cadell disqualified. He will be out of the race as well. Alright, what happened here is the question. Hold on, massive checkup. Really take this all the way back to the start here. Not real sure why McCullough is on the apron. Not going to really question it neither. That's really going to cause really the big separation. Chris Murphy cuts McCullough off. Oh, that was a shotgun neck go or something. I ain't never seen a car. I ain't never seen a car without it being some sort of netcode issue. That's a hell of a shot. Murphy into the back of McCullough, McCullough into Merkel, and it is on. Well, right on board with the 2. He ain't even gonna know this is coming. That's where the majority of damage will come from. Next, right on board with Kenny McCullough. There's a big shot. Up, hell. Around they go. Next, on board. Yeah, run on board with Steve Scott. Yeah, last on board before we go back live. Everybody just getting run over. Well, all right. Third attempt, green, white, checkered. All right. Well, we'll try to get where we can McCullough after the race. We'll have to wait and see. Third attempt at green, white, checkered. The rules are simple. The rules are actually very simple. No matter the yellow flag is out, no matter the pace car's in the middle of the track, they're going to race it out to the end. Well, this is going to be good. Cody Nichols trying to go for yet another win in MMS. However, he is surrounded by drivers who are looking for their first win. Justin Lewis, Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew LaShanley, just to name a few. Dylan Jones as well. Throw his name into that mix. Either drivers who have not won or drivers looking for their first win. Mark Vondale, James Warren, right now at night, has not won in a long time. Trying to end that streak along with Tucker McClendon. All right. Eagles, Lois, green flag, last attempt. Top 6 get paid out, so hell. Eagles is not a great start at all. Wow, Lewis right down to the bottom again. Wow, Graham, turn that 94. Caldwell. Down back straightaway, Field trying to scatter. Lewis holding him at bay. They'll enter turn 3. Leading for the most part. Doug McClellan, Josh McCullough, Vincent T. Guerrero trying to make that third lane work further in the field. Better make something happen fast. Eagles to the outside. Conwell up. Eagles runs the 94 and track. They save it again. Doesn't matter now. White flag. Whatever happens, happens. Eagles lead at the line. 3 wide. Conwell at the outside. Got the A2 behind him. Kelly, McClellan, McCullough. All in that third lane. Trying to make something happen late in the going. Down and back straight away for the final time. 3 by 3 by 3. And right now, still anybody's race. They'll enter turn 3 for the final time. Eagles edges ahead. Here comes Lewis on the bottom. McClellan in the wall. They keep it straight. Get the photo finish cameras out. They're either going to wreck it or they're going to get closer. At the line, through the travel for the final time. Eagles holds it through the travel. Andrew at the bottom. Lewis at the bottom at the line. Eagles barely. And there's the big wreck. Dylan Bays and Knights ends. Not the way he wanted to. Guerrero's involved in it. Asked. Good grief. Cody Eagles back to victory lane. Barely. Cody Eagles the winner. Gotta go back and look at the finish. Well, one of the closest. I don't think it'll sum it up. Photo finish line. That is 11/100ths of a second. Get Cody Eagles up here. Cody Eagles, Gary Jeans up there, broadcast booth. Got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Well, one of your more flashiest wins. Take me through the race. Dominant car tonight. Never really left the top 5 for the majority of the night. Just take us through the night with the package. Drivers tried that third lane. It really took about 7 or 8 to get that run going. Like I said, just take us through the night from Cody Eagles' perspective and take us through the finish.
Yeah, these cars, the rights wear pretty heavily, and the bottom doesn't seem all that good. It's decent with a good pusher, but other than that, it just seems like it's not really the place to be. The top actually seemed like it rolled pretty well. The strategy I thought early on in the race was either just stay up front or go all the way to the back. You don't want to get yourself stuck in the middle, and it seemed like that's kind of where the wrecks were happening, was right there in the middle of the pack. I'll have to go back and look, but it seemed like the play really from the beginning is just get up front, stay up front, execute the pit stops, communicate with teammates, and just try not to lose the track position or get yourself pinned on the bottom. And I was afraid there at the end that I kind of got pinned on the bottom, but I was fortunate to find a gap up and was able to put myself in position to win the race.
But of course, you mentioned the aggression level. Really, how hard is it to push with these cars from a perspective? My experience got to be extremely easy trying to push them because of how the noses are angled down. Is it one of the more difficult cars to really drive at something like this on a competitive level?
It's a little bit easier now, like the old Legacy Gen 4. If you would push them at all, it would lift the rear end up and it would just spin them. Now it's a little easier to push, but what you really have to contend with is the car feels like boaty. It goes back and forth, and then the car also gets tight on entry once the tires start wearing. So it's just a matter of finding, if not a teammate, just somebody that you know can hold a line and drive through the car getting tight. You don't really want to push too hard if it's someone you don't trust, and take a unnecessary penalty. So I tried to surround myself in that race with people that I knew and trusted, and it worked out. Thankfully, me and Dylan were able to stay connected there at the end of the race, and it paid dividends.
But a hell of a job nonetheless. You'll walk out of here tonight leading the most laps, finishing the job tonight on top of that, 21 out of 64. My last question I got for you, question in all interviews. Is there anybody want to thank tonight? Friends, family, sponsors, etc.? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Jim Bob. Always appreciate you putting on these broadcasts. Kenny and MMS for putting on the race. It was a great turnout tonight, so appreciate all the drivers, my parents watching, Dylan running with Dylan and Vince tonight. So thank you to them guys, and most importantly, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because right now, he has definitely given me the strength to get through a tough time in my life, and every day just seems like it's getting a little easier.
All right, buddy. For Cody Nichols tonight is yet another win as 2025 draws to an end. Hell of a job tonight. Look forward to seeing how many you'll get in 2026.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. On the other end of the spectrum, get Justin Lewis in here. Justin Lewis, Garrett James up here in broadcast booth. How bad does this one hurt?
Not too bad. I didn't get out of the money, so it works. I mean, hey, when you net gain on something that doesn't cost so much to do, it's kind of a win in itself. But no, I'll be honest. I blocked him twice when he tried it twice, and I covered it. But the third one was coming off four there, and he had like a good run. I was like, that's not gonna play out very well. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you go. But the bottom line was kind of a struggle the whole time, trying to keep that pace to stay side by side so they didn't clear. And well, for the gist of that is that dude behind me saved enough of his motor to not like get too hot to push me there toward the end and keep me in contention of it. So it wasn't a bad deal. That was better than us all wrecking. That was probably one of the tightest three wide packs I've been around for quite a while. So it just took me a little bit to get used to it. I don't run this car a lot. I mean, it's a legacy car anyway, so everything's different. So we'll take second, and we'll probably be back for some more of these. Try to clean some house, get some more money.
Well, buddy, I want to ask you for how mentally straining would be a bit of a rough word, but how much does it take out of a driver knowing we're already going through one attempt at a green white checker? Now we have to go through the second one, and when the second one doesn't get the job done, now it's pretty much every man for himself. At this point, you know there's not going to be a yellow thrown. How much of a mental toll does it take on a driver's patience more than anything to try to survive 3 overtimes?
Well, for me, I was kind of looking forward to it because even though we did that pit strategy under green, we took a little extra fuel for this case. So even sitting here now, I have almost a gallon and a half left, so like 3 laps of fuel still. So I could have done probably 1 to 2 more green white checkers. So for me, I was like, you know what? Maybe they took just enough to get through because that's what a lot of guys do. And if it could have weeded out some of those guys that I was kind of worried about, which I was worried about, who was that? I can't remember. The guy that won, I was getting told that he's pretty good at these, so I had to watch myself. Um, so
Go to
just
Racing Idiot
not being
Racing
around him.
Network and look over the last 3 months, and I'm sure he's won in at least several of them. He's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So Maxwell told me, he's like, yeah, this guy's he's pretty legit. So if you get beat by him, don't feel bad. But I take pride in my losses. There's sometimes I feel like I should have won, and this is one of those that it could have been right just to push in the lane choice. I think if I could have swapped lanes with him, I would have done what he did. So all in all, it wasn't bad. It was just one of those deals where you're not in your. It's not like it's Bristol or Charlotte or a mile and a half where you have your own choices. You're on your own. This is more like you have to rely on the guys around you to get the job done with you. So one wrong move could put you from the lead to 15th or from the lead to the infant care center. So you don't really know where you're going to end up. But
I think your
it wasn't too
teammate
bad.
Tom Merkel knows that for a fact. In his
Yeah,
own
poor
right.
Todd. He told me before this race, he's like, hey, because we were setting paints up for the Gen 4 car, and it turned out to be the legacy car, so we all had to wash what we had. So I had this jalopy together. But
Hey, it worked out for a lot.
he was like, you could run my paint. Yeah, he's like, you could run my paint, and I was like, dude, I don't want to run that yellow car because it seems like it's a weapon on the racetrack. Not like him, Rick. Like he's not the weapon. It is a pure target. Like everything goes right through Todd, and I mean that literally. He is the one car that just doesn't get missed in any wreck. So I always feel bad for Todd. But speaking of that, give him a shout out. He's been the one finding all these races for some cash, and he got me in. The whole group of us in, me, Max, Todd, Andrew, Ryan Kelly. I don't remember if we had one more with us tonight or not. I kind of lost track, to be honest. But all in all, it was fun. I'm going to try to get to bed and make sure the wife stays happy.
Oh, brother. Well, buddy, I'll give you one last piece of advice before I let you head out of here. February 2nd through the 8th. You know I'll be there. PGR 500, the biggest one of them all. Biggest money race of them all, really. There's y'all's next target. I'll set that one up for you.
Yeah, there we go. I know with the way they've been intrigued with this off-season stuff that as long as if my work schedule works right, there's a very big possibility I could be there. So if it's in a decent hour, you might see me. Especially if the money's good. I feel pretty confident in my plate abilities. So
the way they're advertising it, the money's gonna be good, all right.
good deal.
Money's
Good deal.
gonna be.
Well, we should be there.
Hell, as much money as they're putting up, hell, you can take a vacation for Christ's sakes.
Well, I had my semi caught on fire last Friday, so I need all the help I can get. So that works out.
All right, buddy. For Justin Lewis, it'll be a second place run by one of the closest margins on the Raging Idiot Racing Network. Appreciate your time, buddy. Hopefully next time I talk to you, it's up one more spot.
Yeah, thanks, boys. We'll see you.
Yes, sir. That being said, last but definitely not least, and I gotta admit, Jimmy Crow's been known to pick out diamonds in the rocks, and right now, Maxwell Caldwell, a hell of a job. Keep your nose clean the majority of the night. Take me through it.
Oh man, it was a heck of a race, wasn't it? These guys are no joke running in this race tonight, and I've done some plate racing, like I've run with Cody in another league. Justin and Andrew are teammates of mine. Ryan Kelly, like we've all run together. Shoot White Gray there that finished fourth. He runs a Wednesday night league we run in. So some of these guys are familiar faces at the front, but a lot of these guys were not. And I tell you, it was a tough pack to try to make some moves in and try to make passes. And God, what a finish, wasn't it? 3x3x3x3, and nobody wrecked it until after the line. That was insane.
You'll get used to it the more you run these. I'll take you. I'll ask you this on a personal note. Just said it. Of course, Jimmy brought you and all your teammates in tonight. Cashed out at a Nightmare Before Christmas event. One I didn't do jack crap in, but nonetheless. Did you really expect the kind of runs that you've been having since coming onto the money racing scene? And really, as 2025 draws closer and closer to the end, what can we expect out of the 94 camp?
Oh man, honestly, with the team we've got, I think you can expect some solid runs because there's always strength in numbers. And the thing is, every event we've done so far has been a different car. So we went from Xfinity to we did a Gen 6 race, I think, yesterday, and then today we're in the old Legacy Gen 4s, and we thought it was going to be the new Gen 4s, but that threw us for a loop too, so we kind of had to learn on the fly tonight.
Them new ones are trash.
But we always find a way to get together and find our way getting to the front. I personally love plate racing. A lot of my teammates are kind of on it, but I love them. And I've done like a league like Area 51 Sunday nights with Cody Naggles, and we won a championship there with them doing strictly super speedways. So it's not like I can't do it. I know I can, and we showed that tonight. And shoot, that Nightmare Before Christmas, we were in position to win it if the guy behind me didn't blow his motor. And then I watch everybody just drive on by on the outside before we got to the line. Like, that was the most depressing thing to watch, all these cars zooming past. So I was like, dang it. So really we were going to finish top 2 at least there. And just unfortunate circumstances took that away. But no, I think for the 94 camp, you're going to see solid runs out of the car. And especially with the sponsorship, the teammate we've got, I think you'll see us kind of in the events that we can run together. You're going to see us kind of up front just like this, I hope.
All right, buddy. Well, last question I got for you, and you'll find out it'll be the question to end all interviews. Is there anybody want to thank tonight? Friends, family, sponsors, etc.? The floor is yours.
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, what a blessing it is to be able to come and race, and for Jimmy Crow to invite us, to come and run these events and to have the fun we've had. It's been we've only been doing it for about a week, so it's been a great time getting to come and run with these boys, and we're looking forward to doing more. It's kind of got us addicted to doing it. We're like, ooh, when's the next one? Oh, everybody check the Discords, right? So what a blessing it is that God's given me to be able to come and run with these boys. Got to thank my teammates, Justin Lewis, Andrew Pileshi, Ryan Kelly, and Todd Merkel. While I'm thanking Todd Merkel, he's the one sponsoring half these rides. So Merkel Racing Engines being on the hood, got to thank him for his support and his friendship for the past few years. He's sponsored me for almost 4 years of iRacing now. So great to have him on the hood and representing him. And then got to thank the admins for putting events like this on. They're so much fun to do, especially this time of year when everybody's kind of off work or in a time of break. And you can kind of get together and just have some fun on some nights. And got to thank you guys for the broadcast, man. I can't wait to go back and watch it. I hear great things, and I can't wait to see how good a job you do. I've kind of broadcasted a little myself here and there, and I know it ain't an easy job, but it's a fun job for sure. So I can't wait to see what kind of show y'all put on.
All right, buddy. For Maxwell Caldwell, it'll be a third-place run tonight. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Hopefully up 2 more spots.
Oh, for sure. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. That being said, the results are as followed. After a long night for a lot of drivers, Cody Niggles by 10 thousandths of a second will be the finish over Justin Lewis. Maxwell Caldwell rounds out the third podium spot. Wyatt Gray, Dylan Jones, Andrew Pileshi will round out the final payout spot. Jackson Byes, Mark Vondell, Ryan Kelly, Kim McCullough, your top 10. Josh McCullough, Dylan Byes, Christopher Carter, Vincent T. Guerrero, James Warren, Dylan Ash, Joe Herrera, and Danny Barnes rounds out the top 18 on down through the remainder of the field. Well, mate, Scott Tucker, McClellan, Sean Corbett, Stephen Scott Jr.'s night will come to an end, not the way he had envisioned after having great speed and a hell of a car the first third of the race. Derek Riley, Richard Elliott, Todd Merkel, Chris Murphy, Matthew Pan, and Cameron Craighead rounds out 28th. And then Hunter Rozelle and Kobe Canille DQ'd. That being said, as for the remainder of the week, I hate to say it in a way. I hate to say it, but 2025 will be the last of the Raging Idiot Racing Network for the foreseeable future, at least on the money racing side of things. January 1st, Hangover 250 will be live on PGR. Yours truly in the commentary booth for that race. That is the plan. So only a few days left of the Raging Idiot Racing Network. At least, like I said, bringing HGR, MMS, Midnight Racing League, all of them. Been a hell of a ride, and I appreciate everybody who has been watching, subscribing up to that point. It's had its highs, definitely has had its lows. But I'll say this as a bit of a farewell, and I don't know how many more broadcasts we'll get at the end of the year, but big shout out to Jimmy Crow, Kenny McCullough, James Waring, Justin Millicard, the whole admin groups, the league promoters for that, for all of them series, of course. Inspired Racing League, Elijah Fisher and them really was able to get Raging Idiot Racing Network kick-started. From there, it just grew to something I never thought it would. With that being said, we'll end the new year on a high note, and I will be back live with PGR comes 2026. With that being said, appreciate everybody watching tonight. Congratulations, the Cody Eagles are in order yet again. And I will see everybody in the next broadcast. If it's before the new year, I'll see everybody next year. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll see you then. Till then, take it easy. Have a good night.